Idolatry is a grave concern. The Catholic and Orthodox churches. 300 AD, the Roman Catholic Church, created by Constantine, looked nothing like the humble Church of Acts. It embraced many strange doctrines which were pagan and Gnostic in origin, and in both testaments, idolatry is forbidden. Deuteronomy 5:7-9. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. In Deuteronomy 32:16-17, they were talking about they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. 1 Corinthians 10:7-8. Paul is warning the Corinthians, neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it was written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play, and neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day, and 23,000. 1 Corinthians 10:20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. Paul warned the Corinthians of idolatry. He warned them idolaters would not enter the kingdom. Likewise, Jesus rebuked the churches in Asia for these very same things. Revelation 2:12-29. The worship of idols will get people's names written out of the book of life. Exodus 32:33, 1 Corinthians 6:9. However, the Catholic Church doctrine, source Catechism of the Catholic Church, says this. 971. Devotion to the Blessed Virgin. The Church's devotion to the Blessed Virgin is intrinsic to Christian worship. The Church rightly honors the Blessed Virgin with special devotion. Number 476. Since the Word became flesh and assuming a true humanity, Christ's body was finite. Therefore, the human face of Jesus can be portrayed at the Seventh Ecumenical Council of Nicaea, 787. The Church recognized its representation in holy images to be legitimate. 2131. Basing on the mystery of the incarnate Word, the Seventh Ecumenical Council at Nicaea, 787, justified against the iconoclasts the veneration of icons of Christ, but also of the Mother of God, the angels, and all the saints. By becoming incarnate, the Son of God introduced a new economy of images. 2132. The Christian veneration of images is not contrary to the first commandment, which proscribes idols. Indeed, the honor rendered to an image passes to its prototype, and whoever venerates an image venerates the person portrayed in it. The honor paid to sacred images is a respectful veneration, not the adoration due to God alone. Here are the key points. First, this tradition of veneration of images was decided in Nicaea. The Catholic Church decided it wasn't a violation of God's commands. Second, it's apparent that many, the iconoclasts, disagreed with this decision. Third, the early ante-Nicene church fathers rejected idols, but the Gnostics embraced them. Source, Dictionary of Early Christian Beliefs, David Berceau. Here are some quotes. Justin Martyr, circa 160, quotes this. This is the sole accusation you can bring against us, that we do not offer drink offerings and the aroma of fat to the dead, nor crowns for their statues. Irenaeus, circa 180. They call themselves Gnostics. They also possess images, some of them painted and others formed from different kinds of material. They maintain that a likeness of Christ was made by Pilate at the time when Jesus lived among them. They crown these images and set them up along with the images of the philosophers of the world. That is to say, they place them with the images of Pythagoras, Plato, Aristotle, and the rest. They have also other modes of honoring these images after the same manner of the Gentiles. Clement of Alexandria, circa 195. It is with a different kind of spell that art deludes you. It leads you to pay religious honor and worship to images and pictures. We are not to draw the faces of idols, for we are prohibited to cling to them. Works of art cannot be sacred and divine. Conclusion. Catholics and Orthodox believers need to do some serious research, get some sources, and investigate the origins of church tradition. Recommended sources: Catechism of the Catholic Church, Dictionary of Early Christian Beliefs, The Foundation of Augustinian Calvinism. First, John the Apostle was warning against believers not to partake with pagan, idolatrous feasts. Revelation 2, 1 John 5:21. This was at the end of the first century because Gnosticism was a huge problem then. Second, the early church fathers discipled by John wrote against these heretics. They were idol worshippers, and Irenaeus tells us the Gnostics worshipped idols, not the Christians. Third, it's not much of a stretch to conclude Gnostic and pagan ideas were part of the Roman Catholic Church. Fourth, at Nicaea, the Roman Church decided their idol practices were not in violation of the Word of God. However, the Bible warns against idol worships. It'll keep you out of the kingdom. Catholic and Orthodox believers need to be aware that early church fathers opposed veneration of idols. Carefully study the history of this stuff, because idolatry has severe eternal consequences. Come back to the Bible. Come back to Jesus.